Appreciate you clicking on this video. All the links down below. Check them out. Rambo Bikes, use TripleRwoods at checkout. Black Flag, use TripleRwoods at checkout. Go check out fishing stuff in Sherwood, Arkansas. Bows, arrows, releases, all that stuff. Speaking of bows, we're looking at one today. I swore I wasn't gonna buy this bow. Turns out I'm a liar. Still like, subscribe, stick around because it's a fun lie. So, all right, today we were looking at a PSE Sicario. I swore I was not going to buy this bow, not because I don't think it's an awesome bow. I knew it was an awesome bow. I have just shot PSE carbon bows for maybe 4 years in a row. The Levitate, the Mach 33, the Mach 30, and then this year, was like, I know it's great, but I want to see what else is out there. So I got a Prime, I got a Darton, and I love them. But there's something about a PSE, especially a PSE speed bow, that I think just fits me really well. So we're gonna build this out. We're gonna see how fast it shoots. We're gonna compare speeds to other bows and see about just what speeds can we get with different arrow weights. I'm super excited about this. I wanna hunt with this bow. I wanna take it to TAC, Utah. We got some unique stuff coming for this bow that's gonna be kind of customized, I guess you could say. But for right now, let's get this built, let's get it shooting. We're gonna see how it groups, gonna see how it shoots. I know it's fast, I know it's gonna be crazy fast, but we're gonna also see just how well it performs. So let's get to putting it together. All right, so first things first, when I get a PSE, all these dampeners and stuff, I just take them off. Don't care, don't need them. It's not that big of a deal. Just adds some weight that I don't want, possibly slows the limbs down a little bit that I don't want, so getting rid of them, all of them. Not necessary. All right, next thing, we're gonna go ahead and mount the, we're putting a UV slider 2 on here. If you remember, this was the one that was gonna go on a Darton, but it didn't fit on a Darton. So it's just been sitting around collecting dust. And that's part of the reason that I bought this bow is I had what I consider one of the best sights on the market, just sitting back there collecting dust and needed a bow to go on, and so I think it's going to be a great fit to that. Next up, we're going to put a QAD integrated rest. This is the best rest on the market, in my opinion. Doesn't get any better than a fully enclosed drop away rest, and once you get them set up, they're bulletproof. Don't have to mess with them, and they're pretty easy to set up. If I can set one up here at my house, anyone can that has a press. So we've got the QAD MX2 integrated mounted up here. I'm not going to tie it in just yet, but one thing that I've noticed about these MX2s is I try to mount them as high as I can so that I can still turn this little micro adjust underneath the cable guard here. So I can it's not touching it, I can still turn it, but it's as high up as I can get it, and that gives me a lot more play, and I can go up and down with it if I need to, because it seems like I'm always a little low and I'm trying to go up. So if I can mount it as high as I can, going down's a lot easier. Mounting on our quick disconnects. If you've ever watched any of my other bow builds, which you should, I like just the old cheap Amazon back bar quick disconnect. It's some Chinese something or another, but it's cheap, it works, I don't have any issues with it, and I can spend money on arrows that I saved on this. So I've never had an issue with them. There is a knock on the Sicario that I'm a little, I'm not really concerned about, but it is kind of an inconvenience, is the brace height's so short that longer fletchings or fletchings that are off of the knock by an inch or so, they're gonna hit the QAD or whatever rest you're using. So you can see here, this arrow setup, I cannot use no matter what because the fletchings are going to set on the QAD, until I get to full draw. So it's hard to set what is level unless it's at full draw, because like right now, if I put a level on this, it's setting on the fletchings. At full draw, it'll be on the shaft. So this is a very hard setup to do with normal like 2.5 inch. Anything over 2 inch is going to be tough. I don't know what arrows I'm even running out of this yet. I'll probably run something like this because they're 2 inch, and I'll just have to use a bits to put them back. I'll cut myself somehow. I'll have to use a bits to move them back a little bit, but these seem to be okay and not hitting. These are mini sabers. They seem to clear just fine. I can get the level you know, I can get a level on this arrow and then shoot it, have it in the guard while I'm hunting and it not be touching the fletching. So I'll probably just set it up for this one and then we'll have to tweak it as we go. This is it's a HLR 350 spine with 100 grains up front. So we're gonna get what makes this arrow level. We're gonna get all our levels, mark this, and then we'll go put a D-loop in. All right, so we'll get the string level, and it'll all have to be micro adjusted once we get. All right, so I've got 2 black Sharpie marks. Dang, I really cut myself. I've got 2 black Sharpie marks here that you cannot see unless you're looking for them. But between these 2 black Sharpie marks is where I'm gonna put my D-loop. My arrows level, my strings level. Let's get a D-loop and a peep sight on. Then we'll get everything tuned up. One other thing I want to do while I've got everything set up here is put this UV knock-on grip on this. I really think that makes a big difference. I know the Outdoor Life review that PJ Riley and them did on the Sicario, they were talking about how it's a little torquey, like they were getting some left and rights. I've had similar experiences with the Mach 30 and 33. This little grip seemed to really help. Now the negative is they don't make them anymore, so if you want one, you're going to have to find a used one, and they're hard to find. So just a little bit of slop in that. That's probably a little more than I need, but when I cinch down the D-loop, these might just cinch up a little, but that's a pretty good. That's a little sloppier than I want it, but that's probably okay. We'll see. If not, we'll redo it. But that's where we're going to start. I want to shoot some long bombs accurately, so I want it to have a little bit of slop in that. And the fact that it's just free hanging it makes it a little worse. But we're going to go with that. We're going to cut them, burn them, and then we'll do the D-loop. So we are right at 5 inches above our D-loop is where our knock would go. So we'll go ahead and get it in, or not our knock. 5 inches above our arrow for our D-loop, 5 inches above our D-loop is where our peep should go. We're just going to base it off of where our darton is located. It's really good, so we'll go with that. All right, we've got our D-loop, we've got our peep, we've got this mounted. We're gonna probably check timing next. If timing's good, we'll tie in our drop away. Top one's just a smidge faster than the bottom one. One other thing I wanted to do while we're adjusting the timing is I want to adjust the let-off. I think right now the let-off's at 85%, which feels good, not a problem, but 80% for me seems to be the sweet spot. So we're going to move it 1 notch, which should put us at 80%. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Adjusted to 80%. Checking the timing. Just about perfect. Yeah, I mean, that's just perfect. We did 1 twist in the cable. Our peep's got a little bit of a twist to it, but not bad. 1 twist in the cable, we're good. Let's tie in our drop away. I think we'll be ready to paper tune after that. I think everybody gets a little intimidated by these QADs, and it's really not that big of a deal. We're just going to put it in this cable. So you do have to have a press to split the cable, but we're going to run it through this cable right under the, so it's just loosely in there. We'll draw the bow back, let down, and then we'll cut and burn that. If we want to adjust it from here, we'll adjust it at the top by pulling it in and out, but that'll give us a really close mark for that letdown. It'll cinch up here against the serving too. So we just did a quick draw back, full draw, let down. This is our slack. We'll cut and burn this part here, do a little burn, give it a little press. You could tie it in a knot or whatever, but it's not coming through that cable. That cable is super tight. So just we'll cut, burn here. We should be good to go. We'll test it a few times. If we need to adjust and tighten it or anything, we'll pull it through here. So one last thing before we go shoot through paper, we're gonna see where this comes up at, this QAD. Just checking to make sure it is gonna come up at the end, which means it'll fall away. Coming up, and a little tight. A little tighter than I want it to be, but it's really right there. It's about as tight as it gets, so it's not too bad. Like I said, if we need to adjust it, we'll adjust it up at the QAD itself. All right, before we shoot through paper, we want to get it just like we would if we were going to go hunt. So we're going to put our Hoyt Ghost Sticks on here. And then we're going to put our bars on. The weight on the bars are not exactly how I'll run them probably. I'm going to add some more weight. I just got so many bows rigged out that I don't have extra weights laying around. So that'll probably change a little bit, but not a ton. So we've got our Ghost Sticks on, get our bars on, and we'll be ready to shoot through paper. So we've got the bars, we've got the legs on. A couple things, these are the bars I would hunt with. I probably want a little longer one in the front because I can't lean it forward on the bar right now. It's just too short. I don't like these fat weights that Podium Archery uses. These are his stabilizers, Podium Archery stabilizers. And I like the stabilizers, but I don't like these weights he sends with them. I want a thinner, wider one, if that makes sense. These are okay, but so I'll adjust these bars, I'll adjust the weights a little bit. I normally like to run about 6 ounces in the back and 6 in the front. I've got 6 in the back. I only have 4 in the front because the little threaded rods are too short, but not a big deal. For right now, just getting set up, it'll be fine. We'll tweak it as we go. These arrows are not the arrows that I'm gonna actually run. I'm gonna build some specifically for this, but they're gonna be real close to this. So same weight, same spine, all that, same arrow, just a different fletch. So we're gonna go with them for right now, and we can tweak that tune later if we need to. So we're gonna shoot through paper. Hopefully, no issues shooting through paper. Okay, so we're a little high, which we can adjust that. Okay, so we're tip right. All right, so we swapped the 220 shims to hopefully get the left and right tear. That's quick and easy. I went with a different peep because the other peep was huge. It was like a hunting peep and it was way too big for this. So hopefully fix a few things as we go. Adjusted the third axis on this UV too, so making some adjustments as we go. Yeah. We're just a touch high, but man, we're so close. To me, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see. This was the one here. We moved the rest a little bit. Then this one right here. I mean, just as close as you can get. All right, so we're gonna go get a speed test here in just a second, but everybody's gonna wanna know how fast and how much the arrow weighs. So these arrows are coming in right at 402. That's exactly what I want. I've got 100 grains up front. I wanna be able to go, all right, I'm deer hunting now, put a 125 up front and be in that 420-ish, 425-ish mark, which is perfect for whitetail deer. So 402 grains. Let's go get a 20 mark and then a speed. Ooh, it looked like that came out weird. That one came out better, still hitting the left. Okay, we're hitting a little left. Left. She shoots good. .317, dang. .317. .316. .317. All right, PSE Sicario, she's a stud, she's fast, she knows it, everybody knows it. 317 feet a second with a 402 grain arrow. That means like my hunting arrow that I'll push closer to 420, 425. I'm assuming I'll be in that 310-ish ballpark. I've never shot, I think the fastest hunting arrow I've ever been able to shoot was like 290, 292, somewhere in there. So I'm excited to be able to have a little more kinetic energy with this bad boy. The draw's a little harsher, but not to an extent that it's uncomfortable, but you do know when you draw it, like, okay, it's going to be a little bit faster, but that's what you get. That's why you know you're getting it. The Mach 33, the Mach 30 had smoother draws, but not near the speed. It aims great. I'm going to stretch it out. Obviously, I'm just trying to get set up for a sight tape, so I can go build that sight tape, get my measurements, my speeds, and all that stuff. But aiming at 20 yards, I mean, I had a group that I could wrap my hands around. Holds good. Dead in the hand. Things that I don't care about. How loud is the bow? I don't really care. Vibration in the hand, I don't really care. Unless it's like just making my hand fall off, I don't really care that it vibrates. It's a carbon bow. I took all the dampeners off. I don't care. It can shake. The arrow's gone. I want to kill a deer. If my hand shakes a little bit after shooting a deer, I don't care. I've got weight on it. I've got bars on it. Those are things that don't really concern me. Sound of the bow, I don't think it's loud. I have a mic right here, so anything you're hearing, it's right here and beside me. It's right at this mic that amplifies it. Every bow I've ever owned and made videos on, people have said that bow's loud because I have a mic. If I didn't have a mic, it wouldn't be loud. So, take that with a grain of salt when you're hearing it, be shot next to this mic. It's not that loud, but it's a carbon bow and it's fast, so it's going to make some noise. It just is what it is. The tuning features, I love the 220 shim system. I have no problem with it. I know when I move shims, I know which way the cam's going. There's no guessing game. There's no try this and shoot. No, that didn't work. Try it again. No problem. Love the paint. Love the bottom land. I've got some more custom stuff coming. I'm going to adjust this front bar. I'm going to adjust some weights and move some weight around. But I'm going to get a sight tape built, and we're fixing to start launching some long bombs with it. So you definitely want to stick around, watch, like, subscribe, check it out. It is a bad boy bow. You want to see? Let's get it to Shot 3D in Oklahoma and see how it performs. Stick around.